What if everything you've been told about the richest country in the world wasn't the full truth? The United States is seen as a symbol of power, luxury, and opportunity. But what if that image is only the surface of something much deeper? Something darker? Is America truly rich or just really good at looking rich? Stay with me, because this story is not just about a country. It's about illusion. For decades, the United States has stood at the top of the global hierarchy. The strongest military, the largest economy, and the most influential culture. Hollywood sells the dream. Wall Street sells the promise, and the dollar controls the system. From New York's skyscrapers to Silicon Valley's tech empires, it looks like success and feels like dominance. But beneath this image lies a massive contradiction that threatens the foundation of this so-called wealth. Here's the truth most don't realize. Wealth and war don't grow together. Since World War II, the United States has been almost constantly at war. Korea, Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, and many secret operations. Trillions of dollars have been spent not on building or improving lives, but on destruction. Imagine what those trillions could have done for education, healthcare, and infrastructure. This is the real story behind America's wealth. What if the vast resources of America had been used to eliminate poverty, create opportunity, and strengthen society from within? Instead, they were poured into endless wars. Wars that didn't always end in victory and left scars not just on other nations, but on America itself. This is where the illusion of wealth and power begins to crack. While America projects strength, internally the pressure is building. National debt continues to rise to levels that would collapse most economies. Millions struggle with basic necessities. Healthcare costs are among the highest in the world. Student debt traps an entire generation. Homelessness exists in the shadows of billion-dollar skylines. How can the richest nation on Earth have people who can't afford to survive? That's not just a contradiction, it's a warning. But here's the deeper truth. The system isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed. The global dominance of the US dollar gives America unique power. It can print money, borrow endlessly, and fund wars without immediate consequences. For a time, this creates the illusion of unlimited wealth. But illusions don't last forever. Every empire in history believed it was untouchable. The Romans, the British, the Ottomans. They all had power and influence, yet they eventually faced reality. Not because they were weak, but because they stretched themselves too far. Too many wars, too much spending, too much reliance on control instead of sustainability. Sound familiar? Imagine a country that spends more on its military than the next several nations combined. It maintains hundreds of military bases worldwide and is always preparing for the next conflict. But at what cost? Every dollar spent on war is a dollar not invested at home. Over time, this imbalance grows, affecting the nation's economy and social well-being in ways many don't immediately see. Here's the twist. War isn't just a cost. For some, it's a business. Defense industries generate billions, signing contracts, building weapons, and developing technology. As long as conflict exists, the money keeps flowing. This creates a cycle where peace isn't always the most profitable outcome. It's a system that benefits from ongoing conflict, raising important questions about the true cost of war beyond the battlefield. America's global dominance isn't just about military might. It's about perception. The belief in strength, stability, and economic leadership. As long as this image holds, the system remains intact. But signs of change are emerging. Countries exploring alternatives to the US dollar, new alliances forming, and global power shifting quietly but inevitably. Can a nation remain truly wealthy while being constantly at war? Sustainability requires balance, and endless conflict threatens that balance. The United States remains one of the most powerful nations on Earth. Its influence is unmatched, its reach global, and its capability is extraordinary. But power and stability are not the same. True strength is not just about dominance. It's about resilience, adaptability, and knowing when a path is no longer sustainable. There's an illusion that endless growth is possible, that unlimited spending has no consequences, and that global dominance will last forever. These beliefs create comfort and confidence, but also blindness. The idea that power is permanent is a dangerous misconception that can lead to decline. The future is uncertain, but one thing is clear: the world is changing. Power is becoming more distributed, economies are evolving, and old systems are being questioned. The question is whether the United States will adapt to this new reality or continue down a path history warns against. This isn't just about one country. It's about a system built on power, perception, and the balance between wealth and war. When that balance breaks, the illusion disappears. Sometimes the greatest strength is not in appearing powerful, but in facing the truth, which is always more complicated than the illusion.